Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to be doing a 2021 update video on my 1986 Camaro IROC-Z. So if you don't follow me on Instagram and you haven't seen the videos on the channel before, I'd recommend watching those first so you get a little bit of background on the car. I normally do a yearly update video on this car. However, I didn't do one last year because of one, all the stuff going on, I was too busy, and two, I just had a lot of life stuff going on last year. So bought a house, had a lot of stuff going on, so didn't really have a lot of time to do a lot on the car last year, but now that everything's settled in and we're getting back to normal, I've been doing a lot on the car this winter, and we're gonna go over it today in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'll give you a little bit of background info if you haven't seen my previous videos. It's a 1986 Camaro IROC-Z, a real IROC, RPO code B4Z, built in Van Nuys, California. Spent most of its life in the Cincinnati area of Ohio, and then I purchased it in 2017 and brought it back to central Illinois. So this car has the original 305 TPI V8 with the 700 R4 and 323 rear gear. All of that has never been touched except for maintenance and replacing gaskets, things like that. But the rest of the car, the interior, exterior, wheels, suspension, most of that is a continuous restoration that I've been working on ever since I bought the car. The car had been fully repainted before I bought it, and it is the original color, bright blue metallic for 1986. Give you a little bit of a walk around. Still got the Flowmaster 80 Series American Thunder catback exhaust on it. And there's a video of the car running. I will start it up in this video too. But here's just a general walk around of the car. So let's go ahead and get into what has changed since the last time I did a video on this car. So the biggest thing that has changed on this car since the last time you saw it on this channel was the front end. We did a big paint job on the front end. As I mentioned, the car has been completely repainted before, but when they painted this front end, you can tell they were in a rush. There were some low spots in the paint, some spots that just weren't kind of up to par with what I wanted it to look like. Some paint chips, some poor touch-ups that were done. So I took it into Bob Zook Auto Body in Bloomington, Illinois, and they did an incredible job on this car. Absolutely immaculate paint job. I mean, you can see it. Might be a little hard because of the angle of the sun right now where we're standing, but I mean, you can see how good this paint looks. This is the original color. They did a great job on the paint match, and I mean, just going over this hood, I mean, you can tell. I mean, they knocked it out of the park when they did this paint job. I mean, it just got so much of a mirror shine and sparkle to it. It looks amazing. So they did an amazing job. Bob Zook Auto Body, Bloomington, Illinois. They did the hood, the front fascia, and the tops of the fenders when they blended in an absolutely stunning job. I myself replaced the stripes around the whole car. The stripes that I previously put on were a little bit lower quality than what I got now. So I replaced the stripes around the whole car, and those came out really good. A little bit of a close-up of them. So you can see these are the Phoenix graphic stripes, bought them from Hawks Motorsports. Then the other thing that Bob Zook did was they repainted these headlight buckets. So the headlight buckets originally had kind of a gloss black when the car had been completely repainted, and it didn't look very good. It wasn't very well done. They redid this in a matte black, and it looks really nice. Or a satin black, I should say. But there is the front of the car, front fascia completely repainted, and it looks incredible. So I'm really happy with how it looks. The other thing you might notice if you've watched the previous videos or follow me on Instagram or anything is the wheels. These are still the original 16x8 IROC wheels that came on this car, but I took them to Denny at 3rd Gen Ranch in Crete, Illinois, where we have the 3rd Gen Fest every year, and he completely polished them and repainted them for me. So obviously they look a little bit different from a factory style wheel. Factory, they're machined with kind of a lighter gray insert color, but we decided to polish them to kind of a low polish. It's not really a high polish, it's kind of in between a low and a high, and then we repainted the inserts like a darker gunmetal gray. And you can see, even though it doesn't look completely stock, I mean, you can just see how much these wheels pop when the sun hits them. I mean, it just looks so incredible. So I'm really happy with what I went with, doing the inserts a little bit darker and then the polish. Really makes these wheels look good. For the price, he did a pretty good job on them. They're not perfect. The paint is just decent, I should say. But the polish came out really good, and for the price he gave me to do them, it was, I mean, a no-brainer, because I'm not going to take the time to mask these off and paint them myself. Just too much for me. But that's about the exterior of the car. Let's take a look at the inside. You'll see on the inside, you have new carpet. I did this over the winter. This carpet is brand new. I've had the floor mats for a little while, but it is the Auto Custom Carpets gray cut pile. Came in two pieces, one for the rear and then one for the front area, and it looks really, really good. You can see, need a little bit of vacuuming in here, but it looks, the color of the carpet is awesome. I did it myself, so it didn't come out completely perfect with fitment, but overall, for what I paid for it and for doing it myself, it came out really nice. Open the hatch area here. You can see in here, got this hatch area. Also did that. Also cleaned up these back panels. So really the only thing left on the interior, the only two things, are the dash pad and the seats. The seats are faded, need to be recovered. They will be at some point. That's probably the last big thing I want to do. I have a dash pad on order from Barry Performance, so hopefully that'll be here at some point. It's been on order for a little while. And then the seats, they are sun faded. I took them out of the car when I did the carpet, and I cleaned them up real good, so they're about as good as they're going to look. You can see, you know, we've got this little slit here. I can kind of just cover it up with that. But yeah, so seats are kind of the last thing to do on the interior, and then the dash pad is on its way. Another thing you might notice is the windshield. Windshield is completely new. I had Safe Light in Bloomington, Illinois, put in a new windshield with new weather stripping, and they did a fantastic job. Looks amazing. Way better than the original windshield that had a bunch of scratches on it. So let's take a look under the hood, and I'll also fire it up here so you guys can hear it run. Everybody likes to hear it run. See, we're up to about 96,000 miles, 96.5. And then we've got our YE2 radio factory style there. Fire it up so you can hear it here. So this again is the Flowmaster 80 Series Catback American Thunder. Take a look under the hood. So I get a lot of comments that this engine bay is dirty, and yeah, it could be cleaned a little bit, but this is about as it's going to get with that, about as good as it's going to get without pulling the motor. This engine doesn't leak anything anymore. Everything's been fixed. All the gaskets are new. So this is an undercoating from Z-Bart when the car was new. It's not going anywhere unless I pull this motor. So this is just kind of how the engine bay looks. But it runs really good. We've tuned it up and gotten it running really, really well to where it's a good driver, and there's no problems with it. And there is obviously the original TPI. There you go. Also new hood insulation. So there you have it. There's my 1986 Camaro IROC-Z 2021. Plans for this car for the future. Get these seats recovered at some point. And honestly, after that, it might just be done. Keep taking it to car shows and enjoying it. But follow me on Instagram at Curtis86IROC-Z if you haven't already. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. Thanks, guys.